Hey guys, I am back. Tato. Hey Tato, you wanna say hi? Say hi? No? Just wanna lay in the sun? Tato just wants to lay in the sun, he just wanna say hi. But I have a package right here. Look where it's from. Yeah. Ravencrest is here for July 2018. Let's get into this. See what we got. You can tell by the size of the box, it's one of the fixed blades. We're getting really good at knowing big from small. Welcome back to the new stump, the better stump, the much improved stump. Big box, heavy box. I'm just gonna get right into it. We're not even gonna waste any time. Oh, it's upside down. Okay. So we've got a nylon sheath with the Ravencrest Tactical on the back. It's on the back. Interesting. Okay. Pop some snaps. Wow. Look at that. We'll get to that in a minute. So sheath, totally floppy, no rigidity. A little bit of a foamy plastic insert there. One big belt loop. Nothing to write home about with the sheath at all. I can tell that I'm going to need a paper towel to get some oil off that. Hang on a sec. Got some pretty bright late day sun here, so I apologize if it's bright or anything, but wow. The one side of the blade, I don't know if you can really make that out. It looks very roughly finished, as if this thing came out of a real forge, you know, like not mass produced. But looking at this, I'm gonna have to take a look on Ravencrest's website to see if the info about this is up, because often the info for the knife of the month is not up yet at the time when I actually receive my blades. I'm gonna see if the name and all the details is up yet. Otherwise, as you know, and I'll indicate in the text if it's all just approximate measurements and stuff, but take a look at that. You know what this reminds me of? Take a second look at it. Oh, the cicadas. It's officially summertime. There's cicadas. At least they're not the Florida cicadas, if you guys remember those. But does that look familiar to anybody? I'm gonna pause the camera for a minute because it looks like something to me. Okay, you know what it looks like to me, guys? Shares a little bit of a family lineage to me, just looking, with the previous Ravencrest knife, the Fury. Some of the lines, you know, similar, not exactly the same, but some of the sculpting on the G10 on the handle, and you know, on the blade, some of the grind is again similar, not the same. You guys see it like I see it? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I mean, obviously this is its own knife. Got kind of a Kukri shape going on there. Big recurve. Not so much the drop point recurve that this is, but I'm still fascinated. Still fascinated with the pitting on the blade there. And it really only seems to be on one side of it, so I don't know if that's a mistake or what that is. There's a little bit on this side, but the finish has that darkened, just out of the heat treat oven finish that you see on a lot of blades where they retain that. Also, interestingly, the scales are not just kind of put like overlaid on top of the Also, interestingly, the scales here are not just kind of overlaid on top of the tang. They wrap around, full G10 wraparound scales all the way around. Really interesting knife this month. You want to join in, Nathan? What I'm really talking about, though, is like if you look at the surface on this blade, this looks like a full production blade, you know? Everything's smooth and even. Not at all the look on this one. I don't know if that's intentional or just, you know, until the information comes out online, we don't know, but I like it. It looks like, I'm not saying it is, I don't think it is, but it looks like a hand-forged blade. Obviously, due to the design, it's got a lot of leverage up front. So let's see how it cuts. Well, that's not great. Not terribly impressive right there. Let's see. Front end. Yeah, having a little trouble with this part of the test there. Well, that's disappointing because we've had really good success with the finishing of Ravencrest knives right out of the package. Does that pretty well. Just so everybody knows, this just happened. Oh, what do you shine away from your 5 minutes of fame, Tato? So our pull-through pass, not too bad. I'm not sure how it's going to work on the forward part of the blade. Not bad. A little more difficult, you know, just because a lot more leverage, I guess, on the rear end there. But rear end chopping, not a problem.
That has a pretty good chop.
Yeah, has a good chop all day long. Let's do a little slice. I mean, slice is like nothing. So, I mean, yeah, could use a little more finishing there on the recurve on both parts of the blade, really, according to the paper test. But, you know, it's a cool-looking blade. You can get in a fight with somebody and you pull this one out. That's definitely going to get that response of, like, now that's a knife. But, for practical purposes walking around, I don't see this being a great utility-type knife to carry, just because of the shape of the blade. Now, you got to do some light chopping work, cut your way through some light brush or something, or just generally scare the shit out of somebody. It's a blade to beat, right? It does feel very comfortable. The handle gives a lot of real estate, even for big hands. Great features on the blade. Lots of tie-down points. Secure a lanyard to it, or use it to, you know, secure this to various objects for, I'm not even going to get into all the uses that you could do with this blade, but, you know, it has its uses. Not EDC friendly is what I'm getting at. Lots of survival type uses, lots of brush type uses, and that's fine, that's what it's for. But for those of you who subscribe to Ravencrest or thinking about it, just for, you know, your cool EDC knives, especially after the last one we just got, which is a great EDC blade. I guess they switched it up a little bit. And while I like it, I do think it is limited in terms of where you're going to use this one. But it sure is a nice looking blade. I really like the finish on it, and I really like the fact that whether they tried or it just came out with that pitted kind of out of the forge look, I really do like that. That is our Ravencrest unboxing. So I'd love to know what you guys think of this one. There's somebody who I know is going to give me their opinion. I really love talking about Ravencrest with them. They know who they are. They're going to hit me up on Facebook and talk about this, I'm sure. So I'm waiting for you, man. But everybody else, your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns about this blade? What do you think? Alright guys, so if you check out the video description, you're going to see all the standard links that you're always used to. Patreon page link, please do check that out. Think about joining up for that team, supporting the channel, helping me do bigger, better things for this channel, and some of the benefits that are there for you too. Link to my Facebook page, always the best way to get in touch with me. Almost never miss a message there. Also my standard email address, my Q&A email address. So all the important things you might want to know if you were looking to get more involved with the channel or talk to me, ask me a question, whatever. But anyway, regardless, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. Looking forward to what Ravencrest has for us next month. And I'll be back again real soon.